All right, everybody. Hello. Good evening. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Football Talk for Tuesday, December 14th. I'm going to try to do this as quick as I can because I'm really strapped for time. I still got to finish my own waivers. I still got to eat. I still want to do a little reading. I just literally just got home at 6:45 because I had to stop at Fred Meyer to cash my whopping $700 check that I got in the mail yesterday. Was my 401k plan getting cashed out from my old company that I worked for with the Postal Service. It was a contract with the Postal Service. Most toxic environment I've ever worked in. Glad I'm out of there. I have a feeling like the company got bought out because I went by there the other day, the building that we used to work in, and it's completely bought out by Amazon now. Like it used to share half. Half used to be Amazon, the other half used to be the company I worked for. And now it's all completely Amazon. So I'm wondering if they just finally sold out to Amazon, which wouldn't surprise me if they did. And so Amazon, because they did that, Amazon cashed out all our retirement for everyone that ever paid into retirement in that company. And yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I don't care enough to look into it. I hated everybody there. Don't miss any of them. Good riddance to them. Good luck in life to all of them. But I got a check just in time for Christmas. So unfortunately, it's cash. So cash is kind of useless currency these days. But pretty much I can pay my rent. Mostly pay my rent for next month. So that's pretty cool that I got that pretty much taken care of. Also, I got my dad working on my car. He believes it's a blown head gasket. I haven't heard anything from him since Sunday, so I don't know. Hopefully he's got time to work on it this week. Hopefully he's supposed to be getting a job, so hopefully he gets that job. But maybe he won't start till next week, so he can work on my car this week, and I can drive it home on after our Christmas gathering, which will be Sunday night or Sunday morning, I think. So hopefully I can drive it home that night. That would be great. But I just got to get through this week. So this is the waiver wire video. Hopefully, I'm sure most of you probably put in your waivers already. It's late at night. I slept about 4 hours last night. I'd like to go to bed now. If I went to sleep now, I wouldn't even get 8 hours of sleep. And I still got stuff to do. I probably won't get to bed till 9ish. It's 7:25, 7:23 now p.m. So I didn't do a whole lot of research for this week, but for those of you, it's week 15. So for those of you, most leagues are in the playoffs now. So for those of you who made the playoffs, congratulations. Those of you who did not make the playoffs, please do the right thing and don't put in any waivers today. Take your pick of who's left on the available in free agency tomorrow morning after waivers. If you feel like you need to make changes to your already eliminated lineup, you shouldn't. But let the people who are still competing for something have the first dibs. Obviously, if you're in a money league or a league where you don't want to get last place, well, that's a different story. But still, the teams that are actually competing for the money, competing for the championship, should get first priority. Then obviously, if you're competing to not get the Sacco trophy or whatever you call it in your league, well then yes, you might want to make changes to your lineup to avoid that. But you shouldn't be putting in waivers still. That's just you're out of contention at this point in the season. Most of my teams made the playoffs. Both of my money leagues, I actually ended up with the number 1 overall seed and have a bye week this week, so it's kind of nice to chill, relax. Bye week has never really been favorable to me. There's no advantage to having a bye week in fantasy, really. So it's not like in the NFL where you get the extra week to rest or you get that home field advantage. It doesn't happen in fantasy. I think the way it should work, if you're in the bye week, is you should get your scores from that week and then your scores from the week that you actually play somebody. So you get 2 scores, and you get to pick the better of the 2 scores to use in your matchup in case you lose your matchup, but your bye week you set an awesome lineup on your bye week. You go off for 200 points or whatever. Get to use it, and then next week you bomb. You get 105 points and lose. You should be able to choose the better of those scores for your matchup. That is my personal belief. That would make having a bye week or earning a number 1 seed or whatever advantageous. But so hopefully, I don't expect to win both of those leagues at all. But I do hope to finish in the money in both of them. That'd be great to get some money, earn some money from this thing that I really enjoy doing it and am passionate about. But without further ado, let's get to the waivers. I'm 6 minutes in. I've got 13 waivers for you this week, starting with the quarterbacks. If you're looking to replace Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, who are questionable and hobbled, so even if they do play, they won't be 100%. Or a guy who's struggling, like a Dak Prescott. It's the playoffs. You don't want to take any chances. A couple of names for you. Carson Wentz, his ownership has dropped below 50% because of his bye week last week, but he's coming off a bye. Yes, he's facing a tough Patriots defense, but Carson Wentz is one of those guys who, kind of like Taysom Hill, is going to get his points regardless of who he faces. And Jimmy Garoppolo makes my list again. I took him off the list last week, but I'm putting him back on. Garoppolo and the 49ers offense is really clicking right now. It's healthy. We saw this from the 49ers when they're in their Super Bowl year. When Jimmy Garoppolo was healthy and everybody on that offense is healthy, they're a pretty tough team to stop. And so that offense is clicking on all cylinders right now. Debo's playing well. Kittle's playing really well. Ayuk's playing decent. They just need to get Elijah Mitchell back to really make that offense go full blast. But both of those are good, excellent streaming options for you. Also, if Taysom Hill is available in your league, which he's not, he is only available in 43% of leagues last I checked, so that makes him above the threshold. You should probably be picking up Taysom Hill because he's a freaking fantasy quarterback stud. Moving on to the tight ends, I only got one for you. He's really not that great. He's probably just kind of a depth piece, or in Dynasty, much more advantageous. I really like Brevin Jordan. Brevin Jordan is Steve Jordan's son, I believe. Cameron Jordan's younger brother. He was a high draft pick of the Texans in the draft this April. The Texans are a team that are bad, yes, but Brevin Jordan looks like a really good developmental piece for them, a really good dynasty piece at tight end, and he's a guy who seems to be someone that Davis Mills already trusts in the red zone, so he's going to be a guy that's going to get some looks in the red zone at the tight end position. You want any advantage you can get. Running backs, I got 3 for you leading list. Obviously, it's going to be Rashad Penny of the Seahawks. He got a really good week out of nowhere last week. I mean, we've been waiting for Rashad Penny for it seems like a decade. He's finally getting his chance in Seattle, and he made good on it. He will probably be the number 1 waiver priority among running backs this week in most leagues. Obviously, it's going to vary depending on what's available in your league. I know that Michael Carter of the Jets is due to come off the IR this week, and he's been dropped by a lot of teams, but I think his ownership is still over 60% at this point. But if he's available in your league, he's probably an even better waiver wire candidate. Next, we got Ramondre Stevenson of the Patriots. Hopefully the Patriots, coming off the bye, have found a way to incorporate Ramondre Stevenson into their offense a little more. I still believe he's a better running back than Damian Harris. And Royce Freeman, the former Oregon Duck, who I remember seeing when he first came to Eugene as a freshman. I was like, that is a grown-ass man right there. That guy, he looked 30. He was a monster. I really thought he was going to be something. I thought he was going to be a stud in the NFL. That has not happened. I don't know what it is with most Oregon Duck players. They just, especially on offense, they just completely fall off in the NFL. It's a weird phenomenon. But Royce Freeman is back on the fantasy map, as it looks like he may be the Texans. I was about to say Texans. Running back, alpha running back for the week, because Rex Burkhead and David Johnson are injured. Deep week for wide receivers. I've got 8 wide receivers for you. Leading the list is going to be Russell Gage. I'm amazed his ownership is still under 50% after the last 3 weeks that he's had. He definitely is a weekly wide receiver 3 at this point, a weekly flex. At this point, he should be on your rosters. Next, I'm going to throw KJ Osborne on here. I'm really high on KJ Osborne. He proved that he's worth the hype last week. With as long as Adam Thielen remains out, KJ Osborne is going to be a weekly wide receiver 3, a weekly flex with wide receiver 2 potential. So he's would be my waiver wire priority at wide receiver, even ahead of Russell Gage right now. Next, I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. It looks like Amon-Ra St. Brown is proving me right, and he's going to end the season as Detroit's #1 wide receiver. I know that's not saying much. I know that probably won't continue into the future, but there's a lot of I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but he reminds me a lot of Stephon Diggs when he first came into the league with the Vikings. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown a lot. Moving forward here down the stretch of the season, Donovan Peoples-Jones of the Browns. He's kind of hit or miss, but he's coming off a big week, and the Browns are still in it, still in contention. I think Kevin Stefanski's a smart guy. I think he's going to find a way to get Donovan Peoples-Jones involved in the offense more. Next, Laquan Treadwell makes the list again. He still looks like the de facto #1 guy in the Jacksonville passing game right now. I know it's an awful offense, an awful team, but Laquan Treadwell, we don't care about all that in fantasy. We care about production, and Laquan Treadwell is producing. AJ Green coming off a 100-yard day. AJ Green, potential future Hall of Famer in a high-octane offense with healthy Kyler Murray. AJ Green could go off again this week. So, there's a high ceiling there for AJ Green if you're looking for to, boom here in week 15, which you obviously, if you're in the playoffs, you are. Alan Lazard coming off a big week with the Packers. Will that continue? Who the hell knows? It never really has before. Alan Lazard has teased us with games like this before, and never really materialized into anything consistent. But go big or go home. It's the playoffs. And lastly, I'm going to throw this guy on here reluctantly because I can't stand him. I will never own him again. I will never even. He's been on my do not draft list for a long time, but now he's on my do not even consider adding on waivers list. Devontae Parker of the Dolphins. Add at your own risk, but the potential's there for a big week, a big rest of season for Devontae Parker as he finally appears healthy. All right, that's the end of that. 13 minutes, not bad. I want to talk about work here real quickly. We got a guy at my job who he's a nice enough guy. He's got a good personality. He's a people person, but him and I are just like oil and water. I can't relate to him. There's a Kobe Bryant quote, famous Kobe Bryant quote about lazy people. He's like, I don't understand lazy people. I don't want to understand lazy people. Something like that. That's how I feel about this guy. He just has no work ethic. He needs direction. He's a little young. He's younger, but not that young. He's like 25, but he acts like he's fucking 15. He just a lot of people can handle their weed. A lot of people can smoke their weed and still manage day-to-day life and still like work and function. This guy cannot. He smoked himself retarded. He smoked himself stupid. He's pretty useless to me. He's had multiple chances. He's no call, no show. He showed up late. He doesn't clock in. He got caught sleeping on the job on Sunday. I heard. He's just. I kind of feel bad for him because I did not train him the way that he needed to be trained when he first started because I was not there. Usually when someone trains, the last couple of people we've hired, they've been with me for the first week of their time there. They've been with me for the 5 days so I can train them the way they need to be trained. That did not happen with this guy because I don't know why, I just didn't. And then my supervisor didn't really work with him much. So a lot of stuff is falling through the cracks with this guy. But at the same time, he's been there long enough. He should have picked up on this stuff. He acts like it's his first job, and it's not. And he's just not a responsible or mature person. And I really think we need to let him go. And so I've been recruiting people to replace him. And one of my coworkers from UPS, who is a female, she's really nice, got a very positive energy, positive vibe. So she'll fit in well. She works hard. She's proactive. Her and I will relate really well. We'll get along well downstairs together, hopefully. She said that she was interested, so I'm going to give her my boss's information tomorrow, and hopefully she's going to apply, and I'm going to train her up right and make sure she gets the training she needs. I really think she's going to fit in really well if she does decide to go that route. I know she's a bartender, so she could opt to work upstairs and be a server or something like that, but hopefully she decides that she wants to work downstairs with us, because we could really use the help, and move on from this guy. And yeah, then we'll be a really strong 3, and then we'll just have to find more to add on to that, because we're going to need some help here in about a month. We're going to need more than 3. That's the only reason we're keeping this guy. It's the only reason my boss is keeping this guy around, I guarantee it, because we need him in the next few weeks. But if we could find someone to replace him now, like immediately, I think my boss will be comfortable letting him go. So yeah, that's the last thing I had to say. Yeah, peace, love, and nacho fries. Good luck on waivers. Good luck in the playoffs, unless you're playing me. Obviously, I want you to lose, and not just lose. I want to dominate you and make you wish that you had never been born. So, yeah, all right. I'm gonna end this. Peace, love, and nacho fries. Hang loose. See you on the flip side. I'm gonna do my spikes and yikes and my defense special teams video tomorrow.